inspired you both to create Optimism?
So really, Ron, this is what happened. So I had already been writing music a whole lot, playing music, or getting ready to step into this artist journey. And I was always hanging around this guy at Berkeley. We were at school together.
This is my roommate, y'all. It's my roommate. If y'all didn't know, yeah.
It was we had some times, man. But so we had always been playing Ashanti for like the longest time, and that was the only Ronnie heard song that we played. And I was like, bro, we need some more content. And so really, me personally, I don't know if I ever told her this, I just wanted him to write some more music.
Wow. He set me up. I didn't know that. But yeah, so, it worked out though, yes sir.
That's yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to write in general with Ron, because I heard he had the potential to write some great music. I was like, let's do something together, we might as well. And now we're here.
Wow. See, this is the type of friend you need in your life. I had no idea. He was slowly playing me, but I needed that push. You feel me? I needed that push, because otherwise he would have just kept playing the Ashanti. You know what I mean?
Is there anything else that you'd like to add about what inspired you?
I mean, really just life. I feel like optimism is like a continuous journey throughout life. You got to continue to hold on to that optimism and keep that optimism, Michael laughing, but it's okay, to keep that optimism, in the face of adversity within life. So yeah, Berkeley, man, hey, you know what? Life isn't easy, you know what I mean? But we try to be able to, hold on to the positivity and the little things that we can in order to keep it going. So yeah, that's why, we wrote that.
Okay. Yeah. Those are great answers, y'all.
Thank you.
I think that segues into my next question, which is, what would you say the work and friendship dynamic is like between you two?
Oh man,
Goofy.
okay. So bad. Nah, it's easy to work with him because, like I said, I lived with him for quite some time,
Right.
and there'll be times to be like, "Hey man, we should work on optimism." And I'll be like, "Bro, I don't feel like it." But because I saw him all the time, it was always, like I said, that push to go and do it. So it's always fun working with this guy right here, man. He like another brother to me. So yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's not really a separation between like the friendship and work. It kind of just all blends into one thing. I don't think I've ever looked at it and thought, oh yeah, this is a colleague, this a business partner. Like even this whole process of figuring out splits for the song and copyright and getting our publishing. It was just always like, hey, bro, we got to do this.
Real.
We got to figure this out. Might as well go 50-50, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So it's not much of a separation.
As a friend, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask what y'all had to say. Can you tell us why you chose each name for the singles?
Yes,
And
sir.
name them.
Okay, yeah. Well, the first one, Optimism, because the song was optimistic. kind of cornball, but like. So we were just going through a lot at that time in Berkeley. It was weather getting colder. People around us may not get the trip in school, get the trip in. It's like your first time out the. Was this our freshman year? Yeah.
I think so.
It was a freshman year out there, so it was the first time we went from home for a long time. And so stuff was getting hard, and then this song was just kind of a light and something to keep us going outside of the regular school stuff. So Optimism just kind of came out of that naturally. But the other two songs, actually some research that he did. Talk about that.
Yeah.
The next song on the track is called Permanence. We're talking about maybe like even having an alternate name. It's it being like
Perseverance.
Yeah. Thank you. Perseverance. Because I feel like when we grow up, as a child, we're kind of already optimistic. We see all the colors in the world and everything's happy. But as life continues, to go, you kind of have to, keep that optimism with you and try to like make it. I don't know, like try to make it work. That's kind of the only thing you can like think about it. You just want to be able to have that. And yeah, I'm fumbling right now, y'all. You kind of want to just remember that you have that optimism and try to push that into your life, fit it and find it in places that you might not think it is. You feel me? Like this right here, this is beautiful. You know what I mean? And this is something that I would like consider kind of like optimistic in the time of me going through something. You feel me? So yeah, the next track was Personalization, and It's like, bro, look, you see why I play saxophone? You see why I play saxophone? I'm not good with, hey, yo, how about you tell me?
So we did some research and looked up optimism, right? The definition, and we found there was this thing called like the 3 P's of, or 3 or 4 P's of optimism. We only had 3 songs, so we couldn't use all 4 or something like that.
Real.
And we already wanted to call the first one optimism, but so they were permanence, personalization, and another one. I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
We didn't need that one.
We didn't need it. They all go together because it's all about how you interpret your own optimism in your life. So the permanence part was like how you make that a permanent thing in your life. You know what I'm saying? The personalization is how you make the optimism your own. Because everybody's optimistic in their own little way.
Right.
Everybody has their own certain things that makes them happy, you know? And so those 3 P's are like the different ways on how you find it and how you internalize it. And that was research that he did, but it's all right. It's
Great answer. No, I love that though. That was beautiful.
There's a memory that each of you have from making this together.
Hey, my memory was actually with Paulina right here. For everyone who doesn't know, Paulina is the mix engineer and producer for this EP. Paulina All In Music. We met at Berkeley, and she's been working on like all of my music, and it's been a blessing. And so basically, we recorded the first song, was the second song on the album, Permanence. We recorded that one first because you had extra studio time or something. Had extra studio time at Berkeley, and we were like, okay, let's just do something. We had to scramble, and it was like, okay, so do it anyways, let's do it. And so that was just a fun day. I think we also recorded like this cover of
We're not talking about that.
yeah. But that was a good memory. That was a good day. And that was the first track we recorded. I remember listening back. We were just like, wow, that was it. It was maybe like 2 takes? 3 takes?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
2 takes?
2 takes, yes sir.
It was 2 takes. And so that second one was just like, it felt right.
So many memories, man. One that's really fond of me, I had got a new saxophone when I was out there in Boston. Because my old one was low-key falling apart, I'm not gonna lie. I was making it work, but it was falling apart. So I ended up getting a new saxophone, and I was excited. Hey, shout out my granddad, I love you, Papa. And I was excited to play, and I remember he was one of us were in the practice room, and the other one came in there, and so we were just, I think it was Permanence that we were just messing around, and I was just playing. I was like, just kind of getting my feelings out and just filling out the new saxophone, and it was just like, man, this feels incredible. You know what I mean? Like I'll play with him for years now, and in there it was like we knew we had something special. So yeah, that was a fond memory of this whole process.
Would you say that this EP has grown your bond a little closer, like as artists or even just as friends?
I mean, this is my dog regardless, but I feel like, yeah, because, this is business, and a lot of friends can't do business with each other, unfortunately, and it's cool to be able to do this with someone I consider a brother, and it not be nothing weird going on with the splits or, the money's funny or anything like that. It's just like, we all in this 50-50, splitting everything, writing everything, doing it together. So I feel like, in a way, it did kind of grow closer, so yeah.
Yeah. It definitely, because we just spent a lot of time working on this project, and it was kind of like in sparse moments, like we would step away for a little bit and then come back, but it was cool to lock in on something different outside of just playing a regular gig. We got to actually write. And it was one time we were at the apartment at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning writing the last track on the album, and so we had my computer and we were like making a demo. That man sounded terrible. That demo sounded terrible, but we thought it was so cold, and I woke up the next day like, it's trash. I mean, it's trash. So it was just cool having an excuse to hang. Honestly, that song kind of lame. Matter of fact, yeah, bro. We gonna skip that.
So my next question is, and I want you guys to take as much time as you need to think on it. What does optimism, permanence, and personalization, look like in your daily lives? Take your time.
Just because I'm holding the microphone. Optimism for me in my life is like just trying to do my best every day. and meeting little goals and celebrating those fully. I think that was a big thing that I learned being in Boston and just living life in general, becoming a young adult. Like, you're not gonna be good at everything at all ever, and you're probably not gonna get too far doing things on your own.
Yeah.
And so like taking the time to be happy about the stuff that I can do is the optimism, and the permanence is engraving that, being like, okay, yeah, like I got a whiteboard in my room right now. One of the things on there was like, text somebody. You know what I mean? If I can text somebody, okay, cool, that's a win for the day. And then the personalization, I'm a little bit of a cornball.
A little bit. Wow.
Just a smidge. Okay, yeah. Yeah, for sure, a little bit, yeah. but living in that corniness, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it brings people together, and we all need something to laugh about. Everybody, like, they be stressed out all the time. And I think if we just take a step back and see how funny everything really is, I think it's just a lot more optimistic. I had a... Oh yeah, she not here. I had an ex-girlfriend. She used to call me annoyingly optimistic. I'll never forget, because like I'll always be happy-go-lucky about stuff. She'd be like, "How you always so happy?" I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But and then at first I was like, "Are you dissing me, Lucky? What you mean annoyingly optimistic?" But I'm like, actually, that's kind of fire. You could be annoyed by my happiness because you don't.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, that's what it is for me. All right, Ron, go ahead, brother.
I should have went first. I feel like I'm generally like a happy guy. I try to look for the positive stuff in life, and that's like optimism to me. Like I wake up in the morning and I do these affirmations, be like, I am great, I am loved, I am. Y'all laughing, that's great.
You ain't never did that.
No. Actually, he's in my room. I'm in my room, y'all. Anyways. Just trying to look at the positive stuff in life. I kind of try to point that out because, like we say, life sometimes is hard. A lot of people walk around mad and upset, and it's like, bro, like, you breathing, you walking, you're able to be here. That's something to be happy about. So that's optimism to me. And permanence is kind of, implementing that. I mean, that's taking him out for some reason. Permanence is just like implementing that kind of in my daily life. Just continuing to like, even facing adversity, to remain optimistic. And sometimes I feel like it's a choice. You have to try to choose to not let the bad stuff get under your skin. You feel me? You got to choose to remain optimistic and keep going. And personalization is just, that's kind of how I just put that into my life. So yeah. In a real way. See, that was knowledge. Thank you.
My final question. Is there anything you'd like the listeners to take away from listening to you?
That's a great question.
Honestly, I don't want to give you guys a specific thing to take away. I want you to listen to it and just kind of, whatever the music speaks to you, whatever it says to you, feel that, because it might be different the next day or the next week. You feel me? Or permanence might be sad for you one day. One day it's like, wow, life is beautiful. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give y'all exactly something to take away from it. I just want y'all to actually sit with the music. Listen to it. Even if you having a bad day, put on one of the tracks and just see how you feel. See how that affects you. So that's just my only ask for y'all is actually listen to the music and let it be inside of
you. On like a meta level though, like on a real meta level, what I would like y'all to take away is that this is honestly a new generation of jazz and like a brand new sound that y'all been witnessing. I was talking about it with these guys all the time. Yeah. It's a whole new thing that we got going on with the music that we all putting out. Chris.
Yes, sir.
Like an entire new generation and wave of music that's like about to come out, and I think that's something really special. And it's music that's digestible. A lot of the new jazz is so hard to listen to.
It's hard.
Like that's kind of a diss, but like it's not really a diss at the same time. Like I'm just happy to hear music that people can listen to and digest. But yeah, don't take it however you want to take it. But like, this is something that y'all should pay attention to. Yes, sir.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Veritus Miller and Ronnie.